Well, while I'm getting set up, I would like to thank Alora and Layla for the songs, which I think were created just for today. Alora and I had some communication earlier in the week, and we emailed back and forth some ideas, and she came up with this, which I thought was absolutely perfect. And Layla, the same for you. Thank you so much. And these are evidences of Spirit working through us. Perfect for today. So today I would like to share some information that impacted my life in the most positive way imaginable. Coincidentally, it's Halloween time here at the Interfaith Center, and that means another talk about Halloweeny things. And so as you heard today, I'm talking about spirit guides, and here's my Halloween t-shirt. So my life changed substantially for the better when I unexpectedly found out that I had spirit guides. It's a concept I'd never, ever heard of. The person who introduced me to them gave me a bit of information about the various spirit helpers we have around us, and I was intrigued and determined to get to know mine. Little did I realize that the journey would massively change my life. But it's all been for the better. And I learned I had allies in the spirit world who are a supportive, loving, non-judgmental family. Did you hear that? Non-judgmental. So how do you know if you have spirits around you? Well, have you ever felt an energy like someone was there, but they aren't? Or have you felt a wisp of air gently brushing against your cheek? Do you sometimes wonder how you came up with a brilliant idea that seemed to appear out of the blue? Do you sometimes take a wrong turn when you're driving and don't know why? Or do you start singing a song in your head that you haven't heard in ages? These are all signs of spirit guides working through us. Now, the spiritualists of the 19th and 20th centuries began to contact these energies and interact with them at will. Many of you have experienced the spirit world through Barbara Brodsky, who channels various spirits bringing in their messages of peace and love. So who are these guides? Well, they are spiritual entities living in a different dimension from the one we inhabit, and who have consciously chosen to assist us on our path to spiritual enlightenment. Our eyes just can't see them because of their high vibration. They are our friends in spirit, our closest friends, a family that's always with us, who never doubts or criticizes us. Again, imagine that. And they're just like us. They are as human as we are, but simply without physical bodies. Now, let me just say that that doesn't necessarily mean they have to appear human to us. They can appear as different beings. They can appear as animals or ETs or just about anything else, maybe even a flower. Most of them have had incarnations on the physical earth plane, and therefore they are well equipped to help us. They know what we are going through, and they go through it with us. If you feel that no one understands you, well, your guides do. And many of our guides have been with us for eons and countless lifetimes, so they know us very well, maybe too well. We often benefit from contact with spirit without ever realizing it. We receive help from our guides constantly, and I mean constantly. Now, Deepak Chopra has said, "I've never had an original thought." He knows how spirit speaks. The more we become aware of their help and we work together with them to facilitate it, the stronger their assistance will be. But without our awareness, the guides can only assist us to a certain point. Then we have to raise our energies and open to them. Now, Cynthia McNabb said this in her recent talk here: invite your spirit forces in. In other words, guides, I want to work with you on a deeper level. And then give them permission to act on your behalf. This opens the door for them to come in and be of greater assistance to you, And that's when you start being able to sense them. So we tend to think of the ether as not having much personality. But spirit guides have their own huge personalities and uniqueness. They're not constrained by ego, have a great sense of humor. When they're working with us, however, closely with us, they need to focus on their work, so you may not directly sense any lightheartedness unless you specifically ask for it. So, okay, how many guides do we have? Well, any number from 1 to many. The average seems to be 5 major guides. And the more you move into spiritual unfoldment, the more you will accumulate, because that is where their interest is and where they can be of greatest assistance. We don't have all our guides with us from birth, generally only one of them. But then the other guides come in as we are ready to work with them. Our guides are like us. They have the same traits, same likes and dislikes and preferences. Why? Like attracts like. We are very compatible. And there are 2 bands of guides, the inner band and the outer band. The inner guides work most closely with us on a day-to-day basis. They are the ones whose names we can find out. They know and work with each other. And those are the guides I'm going to concentrate on today. The outer band come and help us on special occasions. I'll say more about them in a bit. What guides can and cannot do for us? Well, the one thing they do is love us. And they go through what we go through with us. You are not alone in anything. They protect us from all kinds of harm and danger. They can't create situations for us, but they can help facilitate what we have already set into motion. They don't do the work for us. Important to remember that. And they don't make decisions for us. We have to learn and grow, and that's the way we do it. But they can provide us insight if we ask. They're not infallible. They're not omniscient. They have a wider perspective, but they don't know everything. They do remain objective, and that is very helpful. And they won't clean up our messes. That experience is ours alone. And then they won't compromise their level. If we want to contact them, we have to raise our vibrations. How? Through positive thoughts and meditation. That's all it takes. So if you are interested in working with your guides, and I hope you are, take time in your day to talk to them. Acknowledge them during your meditation or prayers. Treat them with great respect. They've signed on for a very difficult tour of duty. And again, you must initiate this contact with your guides. Then they will respond. In any event, know that they're always around you, standing and waiting patiently, ready to do whatever you need. So by now you're thinking, all right, who are they already? Let's get into that. The first guide is the Master Guide. This is your primary guide, the one in charge. He or she is always by your side, guiding, prodding, encouraging. This guide is the CEO of you. They run spirit staff meetings to keep everyone on track. And they have personality characteristics similar to yours. When I was asking about how we were alike, the answer I got was, you are like 2 peas in the same pod. That gave me a great deal of happiness. That was very nice. This guide looks out for your best interests and oversees other members of your band. Besides the staff meetings, he is always there watching over. This guide is with us from before birth to death and has our life plan in hand. You know, we do have a master plan that we have to follow, and this guide knows what it is, and assists us in accomplishing the purpose of our incarnation. Because we definitely don't want to come back and do this again, do we? I don't. The next guide is a teacher guide. If you're a spiritual seeker, you will likely have a teacher guide. This one helps us with our spiritual unfoldment and brings us elevated teachings when we are ready. This guide provides insight for us by way of dreams or meditation. And this guide is the proverbial light bulb going off. Your aha moments are this guide speaking to you. That's the teacher guide. The third guide is your physician guide. This guide obviously is involved in all aspects of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being and works with your energy body. You can ask this guide health-related questions. And of course, they were involved with healing when they were in the physical. Otherwise, how would they know how to work with us? And the form this guide can take can be any medical-related form. They can be medicine men, medicine women, shamans, Chinese practitioners, Western doctors, and so on. There seems to be no limit. The fourth guide is our protector guide. Very important person to have in your life. The protectors are very large beings, strong in manner and character. Interestingly, 90% of the time they seem to be Native American, even for people living in Europe and Asia and Africa. But you can also have a Viking, an Amazon, a Celt, a Mongolian warrior, an Aborigine, a knight, or even a strong animal, a panther, an elephant, or even a dragon. These can all be protectors. They keep negative entities away and act as your guardian angel. When people speak about their guardian angels, this is who it actually is. I hope I'm not disappointing anyone. But the reason is that you need someone who can manipulate physical energy and protect you from physical accidents. These grounded beings have the power to do that. They are the ones who keep you from getting on the airplane because it's going to crash. So ask them for protection before attempting something. Working on the roof? Extra protection, please. Driving at night in the rain? Extra protection, please. And you'll feel like you have it. These guides can mentally warn you of danger before you experience the situation, as in the airplane. But if you ignore them, they will not prevent you from purposely doing something that is not in your best interests. You get that? So if they warn you and you go ahead, that's not their problem anymore. That's yours. It's that mess you created that you have to get yourself out of. I think they chuckle a lot. They often keep you from unintentional bodily harm. So if you fall, they can lessen the impact. You know, I've had experience of falls where absolutely nothing was injured. No muscles pulled, no scrapes, no bruises, no pain afterwards, nothing, as if it never happened. And you can call on them when greater strength is needed or at dire moments. They are the ones who can protect. And then the fifth guide is my favorite guide for many reasons, because she wants to be that, is the joy guide. We have joy guides. Isn't that fantastic? This guide manifests as a very young person of either gender, highly intelligent, and his or her function is to bring light and joy into our lives. They are practical jokers. They like to cause frivolity and bring out the lighter side of our personalities. Is there, especially when life becomes overwhelming like now. They are working overtime these days with all that's going on. Probably exhausted, so give your joy guide some joy. This guide is a finder guide. If you need help finding anything, ask the joy guide. If you need help finding a parking space, in a crowded parking lot like Kroger where there's nothing, ask the joy guide to lead you to the parking space close to the door. Set it up in advance. Don't just do it once you're there, but think about it while you're going to where you're going. Find me a parking space close to the door or wherever you want it. Or if you've lost something in the house, keys, for example, money, whatever you've lost, what you do is you ask your joy guide to find this item for you. Then you have to sort of forget about it for a few moments, go wash your hands, get a drink of water, pick up something off the floor, put it away, and then the next thing you do, you turn around, and lo and behold, there you see the item that you've lost. So that's how that works. It always works. It works 100% of the time. The joy guides are creative beings. They love music, dance, song, poetry, writing, art, the internet. You find lots of fascinating things online as this guide makes you click where they want you to go. That happens to be more times than I can count. And then my joy guide dressed me today. She picked out this t-shirt. She wanted me to wear it because it was Spirit Day. So those are your 5 major guides: the master, the teacher, the physician, the protector, the joy guide. I mentioned outer band guides, and these are not official guides, but are beings who respond to people who ask for specific help. If I need to fix some plumbing, I will ask for a plumbing guide to help me. Whatever I have to do then goes very smoothly and successfully. Same with, cooking guide. What can I substitute? I don't have the item I need. What can I work with here? Or a fix-it guide. I don't need to know exactly who it is. The spirit up there hears our message, and whoever is around and available comes to assist. I have fixed some remarkable things without having the slightest idea of what I was doing. The furnace is one example. We have deceased relatives who are guides that come to help us, to comfort us, to encourage us, but they are not official guides. They are just there like they were when we were in the physical, to be part of our family. And they'll still have the same personalities they had while they were in the physical. So be careful what you ask them, especially. If Grandma had a way of responding to something the same way every time, it's not going to change if she's on the other side. And since we're talking about spirits, a word of caution. There are unfriendly spirits out there. Just like people on Earth, spirits can be evolved or uninvolved. And there are negative energies around who won't hesitate to do mischief. But you are in charge. If you're visited by one, ask it, are you of the light? And they have to answer you. If they say no, they have to answer you truthfully. If they say no, or if they hedge an answer, send them away 3 times in no uncertain terms. You can figure out your own words for that. Just tell them to go. And then surround yourself with white light. Merely say, I surround myself with the white light of truth. Only that which is of the truth may approach. And if you do this, lower energies can't stay around because their vibrations are too low and you have raised yours. Earlier I spoke about guardian angels. Angels are not guides. They have a very specific responsibility, which I won't get into now. But if you are sensing an angelic presence, it could be your guides sending you those images. Accept it. That's what they want you to feel about them. I think it's a great deal of fun to have the spirit world working in my life. They have taught me so much, and all of it is good. Difficult at times, but good. They orchestrate our lives in the most phenomenal ways, and they leave us feeling peaceful and supported. And I can't imagine living without them. I really can't. So that's the end of my talk, and a very brief introduction to these spectacular beings. And as has been already announced, instead of feedback, what I would like to do is take you through a meditation to help you meet one of your spirit guides. I know I've given you a lot of information. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact me. I'll be glad to help. There are not many resources available for this material, so please don't hesitate to ask. Unfortunately, here at the center, chat is not available to me, so I can't even answer your questions on chat. But do it through the Interfaith email system, or I guess that's the best way. I'll give you a way to contact me. Now, what we're going to do during this meditation is give you a chance to ask your guide's name. What you need to remember is that any name that comes to you, it's the first name that comes to mind after you ask. And please wait till I tell you to ask. It could be something very common, very pedestrian. When I asked for my guide's name, I got, what did they say? Got the name Lewis. I thought, no, my master guide's not Lewis. I want something with a little bit more flair to it. And no, it was Lewis. I asked a second time, and it was still Lewis. So I said, okay, I need confirmation. So the next day I went to a staff meeting, which was at a local church. I was the organist there, so we had our staff meeting. And on the table we met in the library. On the table was one book by C.S. Lewis. And I knew, that's how they do it. They will give you confirmation if you ask for it. And eventually, I found out that that was not his name. It transformed itself as I got to know him better and got the real name later on. So whatever name they give you, work with it. It can change. You can ask them to change it. I asked my physician guide to change. He said his name was George. I said, no, I can't go with Lewis and George. And he came back and he says, okay, my name is Gregor. I thought, oh yeah, Gregor, the lab physician, I can work with Gregor. So I worked with Gregor for a number of years. And finally, I was told, no, I'm actually Dr. Greer. So it's kind of a transformation of all those letters from George to Gregor to Greer. And he's been Dr. Greer ever since, happily, I hope. So that's how guides work with you. No limitations, whatever comes to you, accept as what you're here to hear. And since there are so many of us doing this meditation, all that energy is really going out to your spirit forces. They're here. Forces are here in force with you, all around you. So let's begin. And first, I want to surround us with protection. So just think these words after me again. I surround myself with the white light of truth. Only that which is of the truth may approach. Begin with a series of deep cleansing breaths. You know how to do that. As you do it, visualize the white light of peace and love flowing into you with every breath. With every exhalation, visualize the release of all apprehension. Do this several times until you feel a calm start to set in. Notice your body relaxing, your shoulders settling, your muscles releasing. Continue this for a few more moments. Affirm your intention to begin to consciously assist your spiritual guardians, to welcome them into your life on a personal level. Ask that a personal guide be present and come to you during the meditation. Quiet your mind once more, and now create a place close to nature where you are completely at ease and at peace. It may be a secret garden, a forest, a deserted beach, a tropical island, a meadow, or a mountaintop. But choose a place that has meaning for you, maybe even a place you've been to. You may come here as often as you like to meditate, pray, or to visit with your friends in spirit. No one may enter your secret place without an invitation from you. As you enter your sacred place, find a comfortable place to sit. Take a seat and relax. Look around and absorb the beauty around you, letting the purity and love of this place circulate through your being. You feel complete calm and free from anxiety. Now ask one of your guides to join you in your sanctuary. Reaffirm that your guide has permission to enter this sacred place with you, and then let your mind go. Relax. Beware of any presence you may feel with you in this inner sanctuary, in your imagination. Do not be surprised if you quickly begin to imagine a person with you or greeting you. This, most likely, is your mind's imaginative response to the impressions your spirit guide is giving you. Pay attention to any details: physical appearance, personality, age, and so on, as well as any dialogue that is initiated. Perhaps you imagine someone meeting you with a warm hug, or a hearty handshake, or joking with you, or greeting you in any number of ways. Go with your imagination, even though it may feel awkward at first. Or you may simply feel a different energy around you. Keep your mind open to anything at all that comes to you in whatever way it shows itself to you. Release all expectation of how that may be. Suspend any disbelief, at least long enough to get a feeling for how you are visualizing this individual. You may ask any questions or initiate any sort of conversation. Ask this guide the name it wishes to be known to you by. And now for the next few minutes, continue your interaction with this individual, asking it whatever you want, interfacing, interacting in any way you feel is best for you. The time has been short, but it's time to return to this physical world. Express your intention to return to your normal state of consciousness. Bid your farewell. Know that you can always return to talk to this guide or any other guide you have in your sanctuary. As you leave your place, you feel the sun warm on your back. The shimmering air becomes pure white, and your sanctuary fades behind it until you are aware that you are back in your room, feeling refreshed and at peace, and knowing you have at least one new friend. Open your eyes. Deep breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Another deep breath in and smile. Thank you.